A-Reece.
Flaming a cut here lock. K1 on radio lock. I'm still in the city, the only one killing this shit. You should pull up your socks.
A-Reece. If you are not talking about this man right now, then you are just not hip-hop. Who is the king? A question that can never be asked without his name quickly being thrown into the ring. With top 3 charting albums, countless awards, and a fan base that has been likened to a cult, the man's impact on the game as we know it is undeniable. But what is up for debate is whether or not A-Reece has grown as an artist in recent years. Has his sound evolved? According to up-and-coming rapper Kane Kid, the answer is no. The rapper was asked to choose between lyrical Thanos Nasty C and every ghostwriter's role model A-Reece, and while he said this.
With A-Reece, it's like constant raps, and sometimes it feels like the topic is being repeated. You know what I'm saying? No, I have to be honest. I have to be honest.
Tight.
With A-Reece, it seems like it's always betrayal, it's always friendships, it's always, you know what I'm saying? I don't think I've had like a wide enough versatility from
You're making
Reece.
a lot of sense.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. You're spitting bars.
I'm not even speaking from a fan perspective, because don't get me wrong, I am a fan of his music. But when we're talking like, would you rather listen to Nasty or A-Reece forever?
You did.
I would choose Nasty C, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of fans agreed with Kane Kid, noting that they felt like Reece had turned into a bit of a mini weenie as of late.
Nowadays, A-Reece, anytime he drops music, it's about whether his friends betrayed him, whether they're comparing him to the new artist or something. He's just slowly declining from the greatness he was once on.
Was there ever a point in time where you tapped into A-Reece?
Yeah, I'm still a low-key A-Reece fan, especially for that one album, The Burning Tree, you feel me? But then after that...
He's not producing bangers anymore, he's inconsistent.
He's consistent, but it's always about the same thing. That's why he's low-key declining.
He's consistent but repetitive.
Yes, basically.
His recent tussle with chart heavyweight Mamane was still a topic at the time. Before he even dropped his long-awaited fourth studio album titled Kill the King, X was on his neck about his eligibility for the throne. New rappers were coming onto the scene, armed with fan bases who'd been crying out for something new, something edgier than what rap's top artists were currently dishing out. Hip-hop is dead, headlines would read. The death of AKA marked the death of the genre, according to some South Africans, but many saw it as the loss of an artist who was just as great and unique as his peers.
African hip-hop died with AKA.
Yeah.
What do you make of that statement? That can't be true.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely not true. But I think there's a big space and big shoes to fill.
Like a vacuum.
Because, you know, we not only lost AKA, we lost Ricky, we lost City Lights, we lost DJ Dimples, we lost Costa Titch, we lost Tumi Kadi. So yeah, it's been a rough couple of years, I'd say, for South African hip-hop. But yeah, it will never die. But now we need new faces, new guys. But back to what I said earlier, the guys have to make hits.
With genre banders like Blackie and McLaren Doughboy on the scene, a lot of fans were more than satisfied with the state and current direction of rap as a whole. While many had left the battle for the crown to Reece and Nasty C, many believed a lot of rappers around them more than deserved to have their name in the bucket. And I agree with that take. See, the boy doing things been in a lot of beefs, and to better understand what led to each of them, we'll have to go back.
What we do here is go back.
Let's start off by recounting Reece's longest standing beef, the beef that started it all, if you will. 2015 was a very eventful year for the rapper, a lyricist who many argued had just as much potential, if not more, than Reece to, be that guy, was constantly being compared to him. Fans were making a mess online, and Reece and Nasty C went about to clean it up either.
A-Reece is like an obvious contender for it this year. And he just said that he had a dream about you and you guys making music together. So I just wanted to know, can we expect that? And what are your thoughts on that?
Dream about Nasty C.
A-Reece had a dream on Nasty.
A-Reece had a dream about them doing music together.
I don't know.
New rap is quite interesting. Rappers are dreaming about each other.
I don't know. It's I don't know.
I I personally am not one to feature people that rap like me or do the same type of style like me. I like to feature people because they bring a different element into my songs. That's why I haven't featured a lot of people that people expect me to feature, because they just bring the same type of element that I bring onto the song, and I find it pointless to do it. All right. Makes sense.
The comparisons made sense if you think about it. They were both cultivating a new sound and were as lyrical as they were artistic.
First of all, let me get one thing clear. I do not sound like David. Get the fuck out of here. David is Nasty C. Reason why I'm saying that is because I heard that on an interview on Metro, he was like, he will never do a collaboration with me because I sound like him. And this is hip hop. I disagree. So I had to make it clear to all of my fans and his.
When I was under Ambitiouz Entertainment, you know, that whole feud around Nasty C, A-Reece was basically encouraged by that, you know, and obviously because it's great marketing.
Nasty C got his first major hit, Juice, back around this time, and the remix featured heavyweights like Davido and Casper Nyovest. The boy was doing things, but so was Reece, if you catch my drift. Nasty C grew tired of letting fans set the narrative. His Avison tour had all the buzz, and Nasty C saw it as an opportunity for him and Reece to make and break bread together. But good intentions do not go unpunished.
At the end, I was like, yo, listen, this is dumb. This fucking just, put this thing to rest. We don't even know what the fuck this thing is. Come to my show, this will go crazy. People will fucking wild out. It'll be a beautiful moment for hip hop. It's like, yeah, let's do it. I'm down. And then he pulls up super fucking late and wants to go on after me. I'm like, you're fucking crazy. This is my show. You're not gonna close my show. You You understand? So it's like, to me, I took that as a sign of disrespect. So I was like, all right, you know what? That settles it. That shows me your true intentions. Because right now, I'm like, yo, I'm not even gonna be a rapper with you. Right now, you understand? Like, I'm like, okay, I talked to the type of vibe. But it's like, if there's nothing, let's just fucking work, man. Let's make some money, dog. Understand? And that wasn't the case with him. So I was like, all right, okay, that's sick. It's like, it is what it is.
Reece never made it on stage, and that became its own kind of scandal.
I arrived. I think I arrived late. Right? And then, but I was like, I told like my manager, my booking manager, to be like, yo, just tell him, even if we late, tell him I could do one song. Even if Nasty's on stage, I could get on stage, do one song while he's there, and then I'll get off, and then that's it. And I think that couldn't happen.
Reece, Nasty C made it clear he was just as confused as the fans were. Time passed. A-Reece shook up the internet by tweeting that Nasty C is greater than Central C. In a no DNA, just RSA Twitter war trend. So, I don't know. I'm guessing they made up. Yeah, well, they have made up, actually. They did speak on that. They have made up. The beef is no longer beefing. Yeah, they should. I think that they're very cordial with each other. They aren't besties, but they aren't enemies either. Just two people making their mark on the game. And that is enough, in my opinion. Now, what would a recount of Reece's beefs be without one of the most label-shattering, fan-splitting rivalries the internet has ever seen? Let's recount his years-long spat with the GOAT, Emtee. Reece and Emtee were both under Ambitiouz, and it's there that they created one of their most viral collaborations, Couldn't, which served as one of the lead singles of his debut album, Paradise. Their respect for each other as artists grew behind the scenes. This was a major deal. Emtee was the label's trump card. His feature run helped cement and legitimize the career of many of his label mates. Yes, they all had their buzz, but a co-sign from Emtee definitely made a difference.
Yeah, man, what I'm basically trying to do is also give them the same opportunity and platform that I have, you know? And yeah, man, I'm more than glad to put him on because he's super talented with it, yeah.
Hey, I'm just out here doing my thing, you know, and I'm very grateful that I'm doing it with Emtee. You know, he's one of the biggest right now, we can't deny that, so shout out.
And you've actually been writing since primary school?
Since the 4th grade, since the 4th grade actually, yeah.
Wow.
Started to write my own songs and whatnot. So.
In 2016, Reece and prominent Ambitiouz Entertainment artist Fifi Cooper, Benchmark Q and Flame parted ways with the label due to the same old issues every artist has with labels. Money. They were not getting paid.
And it made sense to me, Horomari, if I'm here working every day doing shows, those shows, I should be able to make, you know, some money to be able to cover whatever emergency that I could have, you know, or get. So it didn't make sense for me to be there anymore because honestly, I'm not doing much. I'm not making the money that I feel like I should be, making.
One gig, they probably made you a salary. With one song performance.
How much was your salary?
Didn't stay the same. I'll have to say. I'm gonna say.
It started how much?
Yeah, you know, it started. I ain't finna disclose like the exact price, but like it was a decent amount. No cap.
50K, 60.
Less, way less.
Damn, so under 20.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, bro.
A-Reece tweeted, "To whom this may concern the most, the fans, I would like to say that I am no longer a part of Ambitiouz Entertainment as of now moving forward." His former label mates also made their separate statements. Just like that, Reece was independent again, leaving many to wonder if he would be just as capable of not only retaining his current fan base, but exponentially growing it over time without Ambitiouz. The label had removed all of A-Reece's music videos from their official channel. I believe they put them back up. The track Couldn't is there, so I don't know. But anyway, Reece ignited what would become one of the most talked about rap beefs of all time in South Africa. Or let me just say Africa. He released Loyal, a track in which he criticized his former label mates for staying loyal to a company and brand that was just as much a threat to his success as it was to his own. And F your contract, Jigga. Shouldn't be ashamed you tried to call back, Jigga, after sitting down and showing me those false A figures. Alluding to Emtee purposefully pulling the wool over their eyes, he continues, Ish doesn't add up, just like how you subtract guap, getting monthly pay of less than 20k. PR buying cars before the artist with our racks. It isn't fair, bruh. Months later, Emtee threw a couple of shots back in the track titled Crown. In it, he calls the rapper whack. And overly emotional. This caused a stir. Reece felt away. It was not about feeling betrayed. It was about Emtee betraying himself. Reece felt it was not in his best interest to stay under Ambitiouz. Unfortunately, it took Emtee a lot longer than necessary to come to this realization. Early 2019, his own fans called him up for his lack of consistency, and he was quickly growing tired of it. Trouble was afoot once more, and all fingers were pointing at Ambitiouz. Users wasted no time calling out the rapper for his hypocrisy. Only did he stand by Ambitiouz as they fought off accusations of thievery and bad business practice from their other artists. He went so far as to accuse them of being overly emotional for fighting for their careers and their livelihoods. Emtee stood by Ambitiouz because he helped build it, essentially. And there was the looming threat of his own possessions and wealth being stripped away. The Free Emtee hashtag took over Twitter, and users were throwing as many jabs as they could at his label in an attempt to buy him his freedom. That's right, A-Reece didn't just forfeit his catalog when he left, he also lost a lot of his resources and assets. He and Emtee's fans were hoping for a reunion, and the pair seemed to want the same. The two united some years later. They've both been showing each other nothing but love since. And as for Ambitiouz, well, they've been losing artists and relevance for years now, and the Twitter streets refuse to let them forget their many faults. One of the most reputable critics within the hip-hop space, Eat, was not too shy to point out how much the label's greed hurt its brand. The beef was squashed and forgotten. The one that all his fans are said to be sick and tired of hearing about. However, well, that beef is alive. And wow. See, after leaving Ambitiouz, Reece needed a way to stay consistent and busy, which was no small task without a major label looking out for him like before. The most vital tool in every rapper's toolbox is a beat maker. Their enigmatic rhythmic beats are what make hip-hop. In 2017, A-Reece would run into the man who'd go on to have one of the most successful producer runs in South African history. In 2017, Mash Beats, Flame, Benchmark, and Reece established the Wrecking Crew, also known as the Government. A-Reece, Words, Mecco, Benchmark, Flame, Mash Beats, 1000 Degrees, Tiger Banks, Mellow, then Picasso, Imp the Dawn, Ghost Trap Bully, NK, Lau, Krish, Tandon, J, and X Global made some of the most memorable hip-hop classics during this time, and together they breathed life back into the skeletal remains of hip-hop. They took over SoundCloud and were flourishing on every other platform. Being the main producer and beat maker left the vital task of not only creating an out-of-this-world sound for the crew while keeping in mind the unique signatures and styles of each member, but also making it diverse and bold enough to capture and maintain a whole new audience. MASH did that and more, and the crew grew and grew and grew. A-Reece was the Beyonce of the group thanks to the massive fan base and media attention he'd garnered while under Ambitiouz, but everyone else held their own and did the most just the same. Just a year later, unyaka nje omunye later, Flame, Echo and Mellow left because of, well, you know, money.
Because the tour had A-Reece on it, people wanted to bite on it immediately because you're getting A-Reece, you're getting Flame, you're getting everybody else for one bag instead of paying him a different bag and paying the crew a different bag. Yeah. I received no cent from it. I received nothing from it. I've let you go. I've moved on.
Nothing from the TWC catalog?
Nothing from the TWC. I can show you right now.
And other members?
Other members, Echo had to fight for his. And he only got L3. I just spoke to Words right now. Words has never seen a cent from L3. Which is one of the biggest projects ever. They went head to toe with Touch My Blood at that time when it dropped. We dropped in the same time with Touch My Blood. I remember. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Niggas are not eating off of that.
If Reese is not trying to mend things, bro, there's nothing I can do about it. You know what I'm saying? The best I could do is try, which I already did. So it's not even about him, bro. It's really not. So not about him at all.
So the Wrecking Crew was not really built to last, but the ending was never meant to be as chaotic as it was either. Rumors were flying everywhere. Many thought it was over a girl or something.
A rumor came out that X Global was sleeping with Flame's girlfriend at the time, who was Ashley Ogle. And X Global went on an interview denying that happened.
Many chalked it up to good old jealousy. One thing was certain: one of the most impactful eras in South African rap history had just come to a close. According to an OK Africa article, Reece addressed Flame's departure from the crew in his song Careless, featuring crewmate Words. In it he rhymes, "What more can I say? What can you expect to hear when niggas ask me about Flame? What makes you think I wanted it to happen this way? I was there about the money. She would never say the same. How could you stick around and let her have her own way? She even go as far as throwing dirt on my name. How you let her come between us and the records that we made? Shit is crazy, but I just figured you acting your age." In 2019, it all came to a devastating end. They renamed the crew to Rubber Band Records. In 2020, due to a misunderstanding here and there and some creative differences, he and Mesh Beats ended things, and no, unfortunately, he did not get his own personalized diss track.
TWC, one can say, was doomed from the start. There was no clarity on what, or at least from my end, on what TWC actually was. Were they a group? Was it a record label? I know they released music under the name TWC. I saw on an interview on YouTube where it's Flame, Echo and Mellow say that they raised issues with management. Who was management? And it didn't all get too much. They blew up in a very short space of time. I saw an interview also where Mesh Beats was speaking about how, they were spending a lot of money when they were going out. So I think there was a mismanagement of funds. Living in one house, right? They all living in one house, all releasing music. And music, even hip-hop, music in itself is very competitive. How are they all releasing music and still supporting each other?
What a shame. Fans wanted answers, but Reece stuck to letting his pen do the talking. In his track C, Dave aced Diamonds. You can be the most talented lyricist in the world, but without the right instrumentals, you might as well. So back to the main question: why does everybody think Reece is a one-trick pony? Why does everyone think he references beefs more often often than he should. Well, listening to his music, and I did go through his catalog, I don't particularly think everything he says is about beefs. Reece does rap about situations that have nothing to do about him. He is a storyteller, and I feel like people mistake a lot of what he says to be more personal than it actually is. I think it is in a way, but it does not necessarily mean that it is about him. I think a lot of the jabs people think are directed towards his old crewmates or people he's worked with in the past are things you would find in any stereotypical rap track that you listen to. Like, rappers are braggadocious, rappers will talk about being the best, rappers will talk about betrayal, rappers will talk about everything else. Not every rap song is about who the rapper is. It's sometimes just about showcasing their lyricism. It's sometimes just about a story. It may not always be about that rapper. I hope that makes sense. His catalog, a lot of people said that he repeats a lot of things, and in defense of him with that as well, I do not think a lot of rappers actually rap about different things in the way a lot of people think. I mean, what do you have? You have your love life, you have the way you interact with your fans, you have the way you interact with your fans, you have your friendships, you have your family, you have your innermost thoughts, you talk about your personality, are you braggadocious, what are your wants and your needs. And I feel like Reece covers that. I feel like Reece is somebody who has been around for a long time. People have heard him cover a lot of these things, and when he covers it, it sounds repetitive. I do not think it is the lyrics. I do think it is the beats in a way. I feel like the one thing Nasty C actually has over him is that his style is a bit more diverse when it comes to beats. There are lots of rappers you can liken Nasty C to. You do not think of him and think one style. You sort of think of a chameleon, somebody who can jump on this and that. And I feel like while Reece is great, he does tend to sort of, I don't know how to put it, he does sort of have one lane, but you know, a good lane, a great lane, a fitting lane for him. But I think maybe that is what people meant. I do not think he is a one-trick pony when it comes to what he talks about.